People will ask me from time to time, how can liberals believe what they believe? How can they possibly believe that people who've committed horrible, heinous acts, felonies in our country, should be allowed to stay if they're here illegally? How can they possibly believe this? How can they believe so much about what the deep state has told us? How can they believe the E. Jean Carroll case, for instance? President Trump accused of actually found liable for assault. How could they believe that when there was no evidence? There was no contemporary documentation of this. She said nothing about it at the time. She doesn't remember the date, and it famously matched the plot of her favorite TV show. And she later was a fan of President Trump. And then she said that it's sexy. How can people possibly believe her? I think there's a number of ways people can possibly believe that. One is that it should be true, because President Trump's so bad on policy in their mind, it should be true. But I firmly believe there's something else that's going on. And I believe that for this forever about social media. I know that there are sock puppet accounts in social media. These are fake accounts. And I know, and it's been proven, and we've proved it on this program, that they have mass message distribution platforms. They just blast out a thought, blast it, blast it, blast it. And I know that they target individuals with these thoughts. I believe fully with my whole heart that since it's possible to make sure that influential people in Hollywood and sports only see bad news about President Trump, it's possible to do that on digital devices. Unless they go search for, let's say, a revolver.news or a conservative news source. It is possible to surround them with articles and videos that only deride conservative policies. That's possible. It's easily done on digital platforms. So why wouldn't they do it? But there's something that's come out about Reddit and an experiment that's been run on Reddit that to me proves ever more in my mind that this is being done. So I'll give you an example of an insane policy, an insane court decision, and then what they're doing in Reddit, on that platform, that to me proves they're manipulating people's minds. And this is worth fighting for. My friend Tim Cruikshank found it worth fighting for. That is America. He is a former Navy SEAL. He did 3 deployments in war on our behalf as a medic. I know they say corpsman. Tim prefers to say medic, so I'll say medic. And when he came home, there's a bunch of things he wanted to do. One was spend some time with his family. He'd been deployed 3 times. The other was to honor fallen Navy SEALs and then provide for his family. That's all combined into one company. That's Bone Frog Coffee. That insignia, the Bone Frog, that actually is a sign of a fallen SEAL. And Tim is so committed to quality, he will not put private label junk coffee in his bags. He refuses. He hooked up with an absolute coffee legend who started Seattle's best coffee. His name is Dave Stewart. He mentors Tim's team. He even makes some of the roasts. If you want an excuse to try this coffee for the first time, make it Golden Age. This is a beautiful bag that the team at Bone Frog designed to honor President Trump's commitment to bringing America back to energy supremacy and independence, the economy, the culture back. Go to bonefrogcoffee.com/Todd. Use promo code Todd to get 10% off your first purchase of Golden Age. And when you love the coffee, go back, bonefrogcoffee.com/Todd, promo code Todd to get 15% off subscription coffee. Senator Mike Lee does a lot on Twitter. I wish he had more influence in Washington, D.C. to get things done there. He called out a judge named Jennifer Thurston who issued an order banning the Border Patrol from arresting illegal immigrants unless they have a warrant. This stands against USC 1357 expressly gives the Border Patrol the authority to arrest people without warrants if they're suspected of entering the U.S. illegally. Every cop in the United States of America has the right to arrest you without a warrant. It's called probable cause. So how could people possibly defend that? There's a fascinating article about Reddit and what Reddit is doing. And it turns out that the University of Zurich has been using AI bots to secretly manipulate Redditors since November 2024. And what's so interesting about this is these bots were 6 times more likely to change the minds of people than actual people. And this is an attack on people's minds. And you can read about the full thing on our show page or the show notes. There's a paper in Inaccuracy titled, Can AI Change Your View in the Details? Process researchers from the University of Zurich and use it to make AI interact on Reddit. This was done in secret without informing the users or the moderators. And you can go and see the results of this. Now, if they're testing it and they're writing papers about it, do you think this is the only test? Do you think that we've not seen these things done before? I know there are argue bots, and they've even admitted this. Microsoft tested a social media bot. Do you think this isn't already widely distributed? And the reason they're doing this is because bots never rest. They never get tired. They never give up in an argument. They seem so smart and so charming. And yet they're the ones still saying that we are the issuers of disinformation. Utterly, utterly true. Well, in reverse.